Heroic Chord is a pastoral fantasy TTRPG based around exploration and self-discovery. It uses a very simple D6 dice pool mechanic that focuses on collaborative storytelling and narrative creativity more so than complicated mathematics. It's a very simple and easy system to learn, but let's see if we can break it down a little bit for you. In this video, we'll be covering the core mechanics. Later videos will cover things like combat, spellcasting, and how to create encounters for your own game. More on those later. In Heroic Chord, you focus your action through 5 main attributes, in this game known as facets. The 5 facets in Heroic Chord are daring, understanding, subtlety, sensitivity, and adaptability. Daring focuses on tackling problems head-on with direct action. Understanding is using information or analysis to help direct your actions. Subtlety is the act of hiding or disguising your actions, and sensitivity is about using your keen senses to direct your actions, be that perceptual awareness or social awareness. Finally, adaptability focuses around quickly reacting to problems or change and using resources in a creative way. To form your dice pool, you first start with the number of d6s equal to the facet used. This should be a conversation between the player and the GM to determine the approach taken to solving a problem. Once you determine the facet used, you then look at your skills. Each character has a number of skills chosen during character creation, between those chosen from a small list and the ones that are applied from your class that you chose. The bonus you get to your dice pool is equal to the season of your character, or the level of your character in Heroic Chord. For first level characters, first seasoned characters, that would be a bonus of 1. So if you have a facet of 3 and a skill in the appropriate problem you are trying to solve, and you're a Season 1 character, that would be a total dice pool of 4d6. That forms the base dice pool, though there's another way to augment that, which we'll talk about later. So now you have your dice pool, and you can roll those d6s. 5s and 6s count as successes, 2s, 3s, and 4s are disregarded, and 1s are considered edge successes. Edge successes are a sort of devil's bargain that is engaged, negotiated between player and GM once again. A ranger can choose to take that success, but it'll come with a consequence determined by the GM. Again, this should be a negotiation. This shouldn't be anything that is terribly hidden from the player, and it should be something proportional to the number of successes taken. There's guidelines in the book as to how to help you consider what consequences you may add for edge successes, whether it simply be damage or scatter, which we'll talk about later. But I find that edge successes are most useful in a narrative, creative sense. Now that you've rolled your dice and have tallied up your number of successes, you can simply apply that to the damage value of the task at hand. An easy task should require only a single success, something most people should be able to do. And considering you're a ranger, someone has already gone through your own trials, should be quite easy. An average difficulty is somewhere between 4 and 5, while a difficulty value of 8 or higher is nearly impossible, especially outside of combat, but more about that in the combat video. There's one more way to modify your dice pool, and that's through the use of key, or your character's key motivators. During character creation, you choose a list of 5 key motivators that define your character's personality, what drives them, what inspires them. These could be positive or negative. When forming a dice pool, any dice pool, you can call on one of these key motivators. When you do so, you apply +2 dice to that roll and check off that key. A key can only be used once during a specific season, during a specific arc, Once it's used, it can't be used again until all 5 have been called upon, unlocking various bonuses, or until the end of the chapter. One final core mechanic in Heroic Chord is Scatter. Scatter is a ranger's presence in the situation, their mental or emotional well-being. Scatter will be different from character to character, whether that be a level of frustration or confusion, or even simply absent-mindedness. Scatter will be most important when considering spellcasting or engaging in a crisis. Both of those topics will be later separate videos, but all in all, Scatter is a separate HP system. Rangers already have their fairly typical HP scale, but they also have to manage their scatter. So when dealing with a problem, when progressing through their adventure, they have to make sure that they are both physically and mentally healthy. And those are the basic rules for Heroic Chord. We've covered what the facets are, how to build your dice pool between facets and skills, the difficulty values for those skill checks, what the key motivators are for your character, and what scatter is. Future videos will focus on spellcasting, combat and crisis management, and how to build encounters for the GM side of things. For now though, you should have everything you need to know to set off on your own adventure of Heroic Chord.